Afternoon. My name is Dylan Ray. It is the 18th of September, and we're on week 4 of CFL 100, which is Cleaning Firearms Lab. For this project or lab, my goal and my mission is to show the difference of two different types of cleaning products that I'll be using to clean two similar firearms. These firearms have been cleared, checked, no ammunition anywhere near or around the ammo or the firearm. The first one's going to be the Smith & Wesson 40. It's the Smith & Wesson 40 VE or SD 40 VE. Pretty good firearm. I'll be showing how to field strip that in 1 second after I explain this other one. The other handgun that we'll be cleaning today would be the Springfield XD 40. Pretty good, one of my favorite firearms. So yeah, let's get started taking these apart. Like I said, clear, no ammo, no brass. Goes in 3 parts just like that, which would be the guide rod, the barrel, the slide, well I guess 4 parts, my apologies, and of course the frame. So moving on to the Smith & Wesson 40. Alright, so right now as it is, we'll have 2 frames, 2 slides, 2 barrels, and 2 guide rods, both 4 inches. This is the standard guide rod for the Springfield XD40, and this is an upgrade 20-pound guide rod for the Smith & Wesson. So the products that I got today that we'll be going over is the OTIS or Otis CLP, which is pretty much cleaning, lubricant, and penetration for the for your weapon that you're cleaning. It gets rid of grime, carbon buildup, anything that is on your weapon. It cleans up really well. I actually prefer the Otis over our other one that we're going over, which would be the G96 CLP. Now this is just our generic military style, well I wouldn't say military style, but what we use in the military. This is pretty much our go-to. We have probably about hundreds of gallons of this stuff. So this is the other one that we'll be going through. So we're going to be going over the Otis and then the CLP synthetic. Both of them really good. I prefer the Otis personally, but we'll go over what I think the difference is after we clean them up a little bit. So like I said, my name is Dylan Ray. This is for CFL 100 Cleaning Firearm Lab. This is week 4, and my project will be due at 11:59 tonight. So let's get started. So actually, first thing I'm going to start out with is not the frame. I'm going to start out with the barrel. Barrel is one of the most important things that you need clean. This will show you, projectile rate, trajectory, all that stuff. Having a dirty barrel will mess up all that. if you don't have a clean barrel, you know, your feet per second that you get could be messed up by it, you know, so on and so on. But let's get started cleaning. As you see, really dirty. Took this one out of shooting the other day. Haven't cleaned it yet just for this video. Compared to this one, super clean. But we're gonna go back over it a little bit. So I got, it's a 40 caliber, for the 40 caliber bore cleaner. It works pretty well. Medium thick bristles, I think it works pretty well for it, and that's what we're going to be using, as well as a typical brush and a balloon pen. Balloon pen is really good when it comes to like taking out scuffs from like the slide or anything like that. So if I got any scuffs on the 40, I'll show you guys how it goes or works. Also got a nice clean rag. So let's just start with a little few dabs of the G96 synthetic CLP. Just got a couple dabs up in there just to get it nice and lubricated. So now that we got it all dabbed up, you're going to want to go with the rifling of, well, the handguns don't really have riflings, but you want to go with the bore, you know what I mean? It's going to have that little twisting motion, and then just do that a couple times. Don't try to resist the twist either. If it twists, let it twist. Let it do its thing. Alright. You can actually see in there that it's actually starting to get cleaned up. I'm going to get my hand out of the way. There you go. There you go. See how it works? Takes off all the grime, makes it really nice, really smooth, and I think works really well. Now I'll show you what the G96 is. It's, like I said, full synthetic CLP oil. Just your generic stuff. You can get it anywhere. So let's move on to the Otis. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Otis CLP. Now I'm going to be using the Otis on this Springfield XD40 barrel, and we'll just go with that. And now you can already see it's relatively clean already, if I'm saying that right. So let's just get it a little bit cleaner. Now while I'm cleaning this up, we're supposed to explain the different kinds of cleaning products that we're using, so I'm going to explain that a little bit. Now the G96 is more of a thicker CLP, which It's good. It's nothing bad about that, but I prefer, like I said, the Otis because if you ever get a chance to use it and compare the two, you'll see that the Otis is a lot more liquidy, and the CLP in here is a lot more thick. You sort of see that it's not moving around now. If the Otis was a clear bottle, you'll see that it would just swish around like nothing. So since this one's already clean, I'm only gonna clean it, go through a couple times, take off all the oil. Look at that. You'll even see a nice little shine to it. Perfect. Nice and lubricated on the inside as well. Ready to go. Now, I'm not really going to focus on the frame, but when you're doing a clean on your weapons, you're going to want to do that too because it can get really grimy up in there, full of carbon buildup. Here, you'll see. Sorry, I use this towel a lot for cleaning, but you'll see a clean spot. Just go on there, rub it around a little bit, and it ends up coming a little bit blacker. So, like I said, I'm not really going to go through that because that's not my main focus right now. Don't get me wrong, it's very important, but it's not my main focus. My main focus is the barrel and the slides. Those are really what is the performance of your weapon. So this time, since I used the G96 oil CLP on the barrel of the Smith & Wesson, I'm actually going to use the Otis on the slide, so that way you guys see the difference, you know what I mean? So just 2 dabs of oil. There's a little brush, you'll see the oil on there. See, it really just gets going. So alright, now that I clean it up a little bit, let's get all the excess oil off of there, and I'll show you guys what the outcome is. Now you can still see where the firing pin is right here. It's really dirty still, so I'm going to go back over that real quick. Alright, you'll still see it's really dirty until I wipe it off, but I'll just let that sit for a little bit. Same with right in there, you can see that's really dirty. I'm gonna go back over it right now, clean it up. Give me 1 second. To you, it'd be 1 second. I just gotta go grab something. Alright, sorry for that little quick pause. I just had to go get some Q-tips, which is one of the best things I think it is to clean a weapon. They get into all the small places. So, like I showed you earlier right there, just get this little touch up in there. Clean it up. Now you see? It's hard to see, but a lot cleaner by far. So you do that with all the little small areas that you can't reach with a towel, and it'll come out looking really nice. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of different types of oils out there, cleaning materials for your weapons. To be honest, it's really simple. You can clean a weapon with WD-40, and it will help out. Uh, when I first got into this, I used WD-40, and I just went on with that. So let's get this done right here. Get it all nice and cleaned up. So it's all about preferences too as well. You're gonna want to see the different types of like what there is for your weapon, what is available to it, what people recommend. Just sort of see and play with a bunch of different things. Let's move on to the slide of the Springfield. Like I stated before, personally one of my favorite weapons. So this time we're gonna use the G96 synthetic CLP. Just a couple drops. Like I stated before, this one's already fairly clean because I recently cleaned this one prior to the video. So I'm just gonna do a quick little cleanup. As you can tell, slightly dirty in there. It's hard to see in the camera, but slightly dirty. So let's get that cleaned up. Super dirty. Another thing I want to bring up is in this class, the CFL class, the cleaning firearms lab, I was able to learn a lot of different cleaning techniques and different types of cleaning methods, or what's used to be cleaning. So I also like to thank SDI because of that, being able to help me out progress in that situation as well. So let's get back to this. Now that all of our weapons are clean, like I stated before, this is already cleaned. Everything has been cleaned on this weapon for a while. I'm just gonna drop a little bit of oil in this. So now that everything's cleaned up, I'm actually gonna finish it off with putting the Otis CLP, just a couple of drops into both the trigger frames, just because for a nice smooth action. It's always good to have, and I prefer finishing off with the Otis. Like I said, I just like to finish off with the Otis, just because I think it's a really well-made CLP for the weapons. So you might think that the Q-tip is taking it off CLP, which it is. It's taking off some of it, but at the same time, it's also leaving a thin film on there, not too much where it's gonna end up making your weapon all gummy, but just enough. So got that one, and now just a couple drops in here. Bam. Just like that. Oops. And so I was reading on the assignment, and it stated that we need to write a little bit, but I'm gonna try to make it a little bit different by explaining everything in the video. So we went over the making sure the weapon's cleared before you take it apart. That way you can be safe with your weapon. You don't want any problems or any issues, someone getting hurt from a discharge or something. So we went over that, went over taking it apart, and went over what parts are there. There's typically 4 parts per gun. for a field strip, or weapon for a field strip, which would be the slide, the barrel, the guide rod, and the frame. So now that we got all that, the weapon's cleaned, I went over the two products, which would be the Otis CLP, the G96. Okay, both really good. I prefer this one. It's all up to preference. Also, and as well, these are really cheap. I think I got mine for like $2, and it helps clean up everything. As well as these brushes, I think that was like $1.99, $2, somewhere around there. So now that we got everything done, there's really no scuffs on the Smith & Wesson or the XD40, so I'm not going to be able to show the bluing pen, which is a really good pen, I think. So pretty much, if you have a scuff on your gun or your weapon, just apply a little bit of this, and then you're gonna wipe it off with water. Yeah, water. I was surprised too. And then you're gonna buff it out with some steel wool. Yeah, be easy on the steel wool. Don't go try to buff out your gun, but once you do that, it will go away. I had a scuff right there and it's gone. So let's get these weapons assembled, talk about it a little. So pretty much just gonna flip them both upside down, apply both the barrels. We got both the barrels right here. Out of the barrel is gonna be the guide rod. Alright. This one, lock back to the rear, drop the takedown pin, release it forward. Now you're going to do a functions check just to make sure everything's lined up and locks in place. Good to go. So, that's this one. And then same as well with this one. Now this one doesn't have a takedown pin. I was struggling on it earlier. It's just a little piece in here. That's how you take it down. It's inside the mag well. So you're gonna put this back on. All I gotta do is line it up on the rails, go straight back, and there you go. Now function check. Good to go. So now the last step is just to get a nice little clean look to them. I'm gonna apply a little bit of the G96 CLP, just a little bit on a towel. There you go, just a couple drops. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly go over the weapon, the frame of it, that way it gets a nice clean look to it, and then I'm going to wipe it off with the other side of the towel, so that way it's not all oily and you get it all over your fingers and stuff. So both of them, just a nice little wipe down. Another big thing is, even when you're cleaning your weapons and you know there's no ammo in it, don't put your finger on the trigger. No need for it. So now that I got it, take off the oil. Take off the oil on this one. So, and I also am going to show, since I cleaned up the weapons and I took out all the oil, took off all the oil on the inside pretty much, except for a little bit. So, well, this one's pretty good. But when you're usually, before you go shooting, you're going to always want to put like 1 drop of CLP in there. That way everything functions, nothing's dry, and you don't have any misfeeds or problems with your weapon. So there you go. That's it. That's a Smith & Wesson. And that's the Springfield. Now, these weapons I prefer to be one of the best. A lot of people prefer Glocks. I like Glocks, but not very much. I prefer these two types because they're one of my favorites. Now, I did have a little surprise for the video. This is one of the weapons that I milled out myself. Well, me and my wife milled out, and we built ourselves from an 80% lower, stripped upper, all that. Thanks to this school, me and my wife were able to build an AR-15 24-inch barrel, low profile gas tube, a nice pretty scope on it, you know, Magpul, all the extras, not extras, all the extras on it. Appreciate your time. Thank you for reviewing my video. I can't wait to finish my classes so I can do my AR-10 build, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Like I said, my name is Dylan Ray, and look forward to seeing how you rate my video.